Good evening. Good evening. I'm Dr. Amystique Church, and I just want to share a few things with you. You know, I periodically come on here just to share. This is Women's Month. Yay! And so just to kind of share a little bit with you. And one thing I like to ask you to do is go ahead and share this out. Share this with on your other networks, whether it's Instagram or I don't know what else is out there. Instagram. I can only think of Instagram right now. So just go ahead and share it out there. Or even if someone has a YouTube channel, share it out on your YouTube channel. So just kind of thinking, StreamYard, you know, if anyone has StreamYard out there, go ahead and share it out. But just thinking about, as we think about Women's Month, and, you know, we have a couple more months, couple more weeks, and it's going to be closing out. But I'm thinking about us as women. You know, we have such full lives in the spectrum of so much that goes on in our life, whether it's work, you know, your spouse, your partner, you know, your family, your children, your job, you know, and some of you maybe going back to school full time and plus still working full time and being a full-time caregiver. You know, I experienced that myself, but there's so many different things that, you know, we have going on in our lives. And so as that happens, you know, just think about those things, just, you know, and it can be a lot and it can feel taxing. And so I just want to share about, you know, share a little bit, just as we are women of purpose, passion, and pursuit, and as we're reaching towards our destiny. So think about that: purpose, passion, and pursuit of reaching towards our destiny. So, you know, greetings to you, my sisters out there. And again, just asking you to go ahead and share out to your Instagram, to your YouTube, or to your StreamYard, you know, if you have that. Because I, you know, this is a way of speaking to us as sisters, as women, but then also getting out there and other women that may be in your circle that will be able to hear this too, and those that are in theirs. And so as we gather, you know, to celebrate Women's History Month, we honor the incredible legacy of women who have blazed these trails, you know, and there's so many. They have defied odds and shown the world that strength comes not just from our physical capabilities, but from the depth of our hearts. And that's why I say women of purpose, passion, and pursuit of our destiny, the fire of our spirits and the clarity of our vision. And so in order to kind of pursue some of those dreams and passions that you have to make sure that you clearly mark your vision, whatever that looks like for you. Again, it's for you. Our paths are different, our destiny, our purposes are different, and our passions are different. So whatever that looks like for you. For those that know me, know I love to say, plan your work, work your plan. So write it down, whether it's in your phone or old school like me, I write that stuff down. So, you know, I just want to take a few minutes to speak to every woman here and out there who dreams, who dares, who continues to rise every morning. You know, every day you continue to rise, and however you decide to do that, whether you know, just say good morning, you know, to good morning to yourself. Good morning for me. Good morning to the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up. Good morning to the universe. Good morning to what sets your heart and your spirit on fire, right? So, you know, just thinking about that, but just good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And some people like frown when you say good morning to the universe, but you know, for me, God is the creator of all things, right? So, you know, the heavens and the earth and above and beyond. So good morning to it all. That's the way I look at it. And if you start your day off with meditation or exercise, or some of those that have to get that coffee first before you can even say good morning to yourself, go on and do that if that's what you must do. But I want to remind you that you are a woman of purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. You, those that are around me right now, but you, those that are out there, remind yourself that you are a woman of purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. So purpose. So think about this. It's the reason you wake up every day. It's the unshakable belief that you have been placed here for a reason. And for those that know me, know I firmly believe that we all were created from the beginning of time, right? Our spirit man, beginning of time. And then our parents got together and created this little earthly body, right? And our little DNA and all that, the workings of that goes in there. So, and for that reason, it's unique to you. So you're uniquely you're uniquely made, created for this time, space, and purpose. You are, I am, right? And so that purpose isn't just about success. And again, for me, success looks different for everyone, because what's deemed success for you may not look like success for myself, and vice versa, right? You may say, okay, that's all she wants to do. Yeah, that's what I'm called to do. So it may not be on a grand scale of what someone else thinks, but it's the purpose for me. It's the passion that I have inside of me and the pursuit of that destiny for myself, right? So again, uniquely created for you. It's about impact. Whatever your sphere of influence is, whatever your impact is going to be, it's about you. It's about doing what moves you, what challenges you, what connects you to something greater than yourself. Greater than yourself. Your purpose is your power. Embrace it and let it be the compass that guides you, no matter how challenging the path may seem. So again, that's plan your work your plan right there. So no matter how challenging it may seem, that's the path. And so you want to make sure that you continue, allow that compass to guide you. I remember when I think about some of the women that I've had to come in contact with, some, they challenged me, I challenged them, and some did not understand, when I challenged them in a certain way, and they may thought, they, and I know they did, they thought I was being too hard on them. But when I looked at where they're at now, and they may never admit it, but I'm glad that I said what I said to them. I needed to say some things, and I'm so glad I did that now, because I see where they're at now. And so at that moment, at that sphere in time, they probably thought, oh my goodness, Amystique is being way too hard on me. But no, I was able to see something in them that they did not see themselves. And I did not want them to get complacent. I did not want them to get too comfortable, because it's so easy to do, right? You get too comfortable and what you're doing, the job that you're doing, or the certain career that you have sought at this stage for your life at this season, but that's not your end. That's not where you're supposed to be. That's just a stepping stone. So if you don't take that time and say, you know what, let me go, or hear another voice that's saying, you know what, why don't you go ahead and do this? Don't get too comfortable in that. Don't get too complacent in that. You know what, you are much more or greater more than this. I see it in you. Now I'm asking you to see it in yourself. And so trust those voices out there. And I believe that it will resonate with your spirit. If you allow it to resonate with your spirit, man, then you will go ahead and pursue that. And so here's another thing. What is that called when it resonates? That passion. That passion that's inside of you, that I don't care how old you are, right now at this stage in your life, you still have that passion burning in you. So it's never too late to pursue. There's some things that I want to accomplish in my life, and there's some notes and visions and projects that I still want to do. And so I've written those things down, and I've written a timeline for myself to, as I work on those in different stages, it's still not too late. And so I'm excited about the process. I'm excited because I get excited about but I'm excited about the process and what it's going to look like. And as I'm getting there, and I know there's going to be challenges, but I'm not going to be afraid of those challenges, because as Joyce Meyer says, do it afraid. But again, we are women of what? Purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. So we don't want to lose that. So passion is the energy that fuels everything you do. It's a spark that ignites your ambitions and turns your dreams into actions. That's why you have that gnawing, inner man working, that whatever, some people say, oh, intuition, my gut, whatever you want to call it. But it's gnawing inside, and so it turns your dreams into action. So don't stop dreaming. Don't stop pursuing. Don't stop going towards it. But passion is not always easy. Remember, it's not going to be easy, because there's going to be challenges. And challenges is just life. It's life be life, and there's just challenges. You're going to have them. Every day you're going to have them. And you know what? You may even have some setbacks, and you may even have some failures, and that's okay. Just don't stop, right? Just keep that passion going and keep pursuing it. It can be tested, and it will be tested. Not just it can be, but it will be tested. It can be discouraging, and you will. Listen, wait a minute, you will get discouraged and may even feel overwhelmed at times. But you keep going because the passion is inside of you, so don't stop going towards that. But never forget this, passion doesn't fade because of obstacles. It's still in you. So don't let that discouragement, the challenge, or the setbacks, or the failures get to you. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've failed things, how many times I've even self-sabotaged some things, like, girl, why did you do that? Or why did you say that? And not realizing, but you know what? It all worked out for my good. It all does work out for your good. And so I could see how, even though a situation may have occurred and it may have looked bleak, or, instantly I may have said, why did this happen? But oh my goodness, when I look at it now, it's like, okay, that was for a greater good. That was for the greater purpose, because you know what? I may not have moved on, or I may not have been willing to take that step if that never happened. And so never allow something, even if it doesn't feel good, or even if it's bad at that moment, don't allow that to sway you, because it will lead to something else. And listen, my life is a true testament to that. Whether it comes to jobs, whether it comes to financial decisions, whether it is something that you had to, react to something with your family, or anything like that, or even a season of losing some people that you thought were going to be forever people in your life. Man, don't let any of that, not man, ladies, don't let any of that, dissuade you. So believe me. And when you think about that, it fuels them. So again, the passion doesn't fade because of obstacles. It's fueled by them. And believe me, my life is a testament to that. And I think if you could pause right now and think about some things that, you didn't think you were going to get through it. But you did, sister. You did, sister. But it was fuel for you. It ignited something in you. And you're like, you know what? I refuse to let that get me down. I refuse to let that be the end of my story. I refuse, to allow that challenge, or whatever it was, or a person, I refuse to allow that to get to me. But when others doubt, and yeah, you're going to have some of those doubters that come along, right? When others doubt, when the world tries to tell you, I love to talk about distractions and distractors, but this is not the time. But yes, when the world tries to tell you, other people, that it can't be done, passion and what will keep you going, your passion. Remember, again, being a woman of passion, purpose, passion, and a pursuit of destiny. Remember that. And so it will keep you going. It will push you to speak your truth, to create, to lead, to fight for what you believe in. Passion is what drives us to do more than we will ever thought possible. And so when I can even take a season of my life, like I can even go back 5 years from now, right? 5 years from now, when I had something happen, and and it could have gotten me discouraged, because I lost an opportunity, or I thought it was an opportunity, right? But I lost. It was a season of my life where I lost a current job, and even though when it was happening at that moment, I had so much peace. When they told me, and I had so much peace. And I smiled, and I was like, okay, thank you, and that wasn't a reaction that they thought that they were going to get, but that was the reaction that they received. I had so much peace, and it was okay. And I was calm about it, because why? The peace inside, I truly know now, maybe I didn't know it at that moment. I'm not going to say I did, because I did not. But I truly know now that that was God. Like that was truly God saying, you know what, girl, I got you. I got you. I got you. Because at the moment, you didn't know this was going to happen, even though there's probably, when I really think about it, there was probably signals or signs that it was, that it would happen. But I wasn't in tune to that. I didn't allow the discernment or my spirit to be in tune to it. But when I think about it now, it's like, okay, God, you were truly in the midst of that, because within 2 days, now mind you, 2 days, I had a bigger and better opportunity, making double in 2 days from that instant. So listen, when I say you do not allow disappointing news or something to happen to get you overwhelmed or outsourced about it. Now for you, maybe it doesn't happen that quickly, but in due time it will. And I truly believe if you allow yourself not to have a negative thought immediately, then that kind of speeds up the quickness of the process for it to work out. But there may be times when you need to rest and you didn't realize you needed to rest, because I've been in that situation too, where something happened and it was not a quick resolved. And so I realize now that, and it actually took, to be transparent, when I think about something that happened, and we're talking about maybe 15 years ago, it didn't, I didn't get that quick resolve, that I thought that I should, or I wanted to, or I actually even prayed for. It didn't happen. So it took several months for it to happen. But I realized that mentally and emotionally, I needed to stay at rest. I needed to take a pause. And I would not have done it if I was able to walk into another opportunity so quickly. And I would not have started making a better plan for myself if I walked into another opportunity so quickly. Now, again, like I said, when I go back 5 years of something to happen, it was quick, instantly. There was a resolve, there was a peace within me. And I know I would not have left. I would have eventually left, right? Within time, but I would have not left at that particular moment if that did not happen. And so when I think about it now, I'm so glad, and I had someone say to me probably a year later, oh my goodness, I can't believe what happened. I can't believe, you know what? And I had to silence them. I'm like, why? I said, my life is so good. My life is so good. So what you want to talk about and what you want to kind of bring out, or what you want to know about, or what you're trying to, come to me with, oh, no, don't do that, because my life is so good. Oh my goodness, my life is so overwhelmingly good. I should have done that sooner. I should have been the one to say, but I didn't. But you know what? That's still all good, because what? For me, God worked it out for my good. Yes, he showed me, Amystique, wait a minute. I'm here, and I got you. It may not have been your plan, but in the midst of this, my plan still comes true. Because remember, what are we? We are women. We are women of purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. And that's the way you have to look at it. So again, passion is what drives us to do more than we ever thought possible. And the things that burns within inside of me, things that I desire to do, it all works out. And I'm so thankful for that. And so a pursuit of destiny, think about that. What your life is purpose and plan to do, and what you're going to accomplish. Again, that's about your passion, your purpose, and your passion. What's burning inside of you. I was writing down in my journal and in my planner, because I have a journal and I have a planner. Yeah, I know, right? That I was writing some things down, and as I started doing some mind mapping, and I do that a lot, some mind mapping and kind of outlining of how I'm going to accomplish those things. And I began to look at that, and it's like, wow, you know what, God, I thank you, because those things are in me. And I believe that when I as I work towards accomplishing them, the process is going to help someone, but then also the end game, the end result will help someone too. So I'm excited about that as it comes together. So again, pursuit of destiny. Destiny is not something that is handed to you. You have to go for it. You have to pursue it, right? You have to go after it. It's something that you pursue with determination, resilience, and faith. For me, faith is everything, you know. Again, faith, we don't always see it. We don't know how it's going to work out, but it wouldn't be faith if we did, right? It wouldn't be faith if we knew how it was going to work out. So you go towards it. The end result is already done. Don't ever forget that. The end result is already done. So everything was created from the end, then come back and work towards the beginning, right? So we don't, for us that are in faith and believe that, you know, we believe that manifestation of that. Don't ever lose that. The pursuit of your destiny is not a straight line. It's not a straight line at all. It's a journey full of twists, turns, and detours. So stop looking to the left, stop looking to the right. Definitely stop looking back, because there's twists and turns all over, and some detours too. But as you're going on the twists and turns and you're going on the detour, just keep looking straight as it's twisting and it's turning. You ever been on one of those back roads in the country and it's like it's going like this? And don't look to the side. Look, stay, you know, stay looking forward, you know, in the process as you're turning, you know, you're turning, you're twisting, and you're going up the hill and down the hill, you know, just, you got to keep your eyes, there. But each step you take is one thing that brings you closer to who you're meant to be. And that's the purpose. That's the purpose why you were created, why you were uniquely created. You uniquely created for this thing. No one else can accomplish. No one else can accomplish it. It may be close to some things that, you know, you do some things that may look like a path of someone else's, but there is something within that assignment that's uniquely for you. So they need Stephanie to work that out. Victoria is needed to work that out, right? Susan is, I don't know these people, but Susan is meant to work these out. I do know a Victoria. Actually, I know two Victorias. But anyway, they're created to work that out. So you have to remember that you're created to work that out. But each step you take is one that brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Your destiny doesn't belong to anyone else. That's why I said, don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't look behind you, look in front of you, because when you do that, that is distraction and distractors, right? When you're looking at other people, when you're looking at other ways, because again, it's what's meant for you. It doesn't belong to anyone else. You know, you may say, you know what, I have a burning desire to write a book, but the book that's inside of you is not the book that someone else is going to write. Yeah, you may do some research and do some studies and read some other materials to kind of craft what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's what we do, you know, for you know, those of us that continue on with their education, that's how we kind of create your thesis and your dissertation. You give credit to those, you know, people that you may cite, you know, of course, but that's what inspires you. And it's like, okay, I have this thought in my mind. Let me see what the research say. Let me see what the data says about it, you know, and that's, you craft from there. But what you're writing about is different from you. And someone's going to take what you're writing about and use it, you know, I remember the very first time when I received an email and someone wanted to use my dissertation to cite in their dissertation, and for their study, they wanted to expand on some areas that I wrote about, and then also look at my recommendation. And when that first time that happened, I was like, oh, wow, you know, and so that it just let me know the value and the relevance of what I wrote about. And then it's happened, you know, and it continues to happen. It's happened several more times. And so I'm very excited. You know, I still get very excited about that. And so it just shows me the relevance of what, you know, I wrote about in my study, but someone else is able to take that and expand on it and make it better, right? Because again, what I wrote about was, you know, meant for me to get where I needed to get. But then the piece that they're going to be able to take from it to expand onto what the passion and what their interest is, that's meant for them. I wasn't meant to cover or expand on a certain area, that was meant for someone else, you know? So I get excited about that. But each step you take is, again, one thing that brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Your destiny does not belong to anyone else. I want you to take a moment to say that. My destiny does not belong to anyone else. What I'm meant to accomplish is meant for me. Is meant for me. Nothing will ever change that. It's meant for me. It's meant for me. Stop looking to the left. Stop looking to the right. Stop looking back. It's meant for me. Stay forward looking. It's yours. It's yours. So never let fear or doubt steal your momentum. Never. Stay focused. Walk with confidence, knowing that the world is waiting for you to show up and shine. Don't shrink yourself or put yourself down or saying that, okay, no one wants to know what I know, or no one needs what I know. Yeah, someone out there does. And for myself, I always encourage myself. It may be one person. So you know what? Even at this very moment, I may be meant to share, because these are things that I have learned and I've implemented in my life, and I walk through it myself. And it may just be me walking through it for one person. So this may be just for one person. That's why I say share it out, because if it may not do anything for you, or it may be something, okay, wait a minute, I've heard that all before, what she's saying, but there may be one person in your sphere of influence that may need to hear this, because they didn't hear it like you shared it, or like I shared it, or someone else did, right? So that's why I would say, don't be afraid to share some things out. Because I always know that it's not for everyone, but there may be one thing in there that's for you. Like yesterday, I went to an event. It was so powerful. And I invited, several people to attend this event, and I was glad that many could attend. I did have a couple that could not due to illness and some deaths in the family, but that was all good. We prayed for them. But the ones that attended, and we all talked about this, and we talked about the thing that we got from the message that was spoken. It was powerful. The woman that spoke at the event, she was absolutely phenomenal. I'm like, okay, we need to track her down, and we need to go visit, her church. On a Sunday, and some girlfriends and I, we were talking about, we're going to try to arrange that, one Sunday, when we can get away from where, we attend personally. We're going to actually go to see if we can hear her expand, again, on whatever topic she's going to be ministering to. But it was so powerful. But again, just talking to several people, and in the spirit, that I was connected to, and I'm talking about 10 different individuals. And when we spoke about it, we each got something different from it, right? Even though we heard the same message, but here's the way things work. What you're meant to hear and get from that, you're going to get. Because it's not the same thing, that Sally may need to receive, that Amystique needs to receive. And so that's why it's so powerful. That's why you are uniquely created to do what you need to do. But she brought such a wealth of information, knowledge, inspiration. It was just awesome. And I remember this morning when I walked into church, someone was saying to me, oh my goodness, that lady yesterday. And I was like, yes, several of us were talking on Saturday about it afterwards, and it was just phenomenal. And again, what we received out of it was different. We all collectively said it was phenomenal, but we pulled what we needed to pull from it. And it was like, it was meant directly for us. Isn't that, I get excited when that happens. It's so amazing that what you need to energize you, to motivate you to continue on in the fight and the force of doing what? Being a woman of passion, purpose, and pursuit of destiny. Again, it's purpose. Yeah, I got that backwards. Purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny, right? That's so important. I don't want to get that mixed up, because when it came to me about sharing this, as I was learning, that's the first word that came to me, is purpose, right? Signal on purpose, and then passion. It has to go that way. And then the pursuit of destiny. So that's why I want to make sure I'm saying that, but it's still, it could go either way: passion, purpose, pursuit of destiny. But for me, when it was spoken to me, for me to glean from and to learn on, it was about purpose, right? Purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. And so as women, we face challenges that sometimes feel insurmountable, right? Whoever feels that way. And then you got to take a time and say, you know what? I just need to take a pause break. I need to take a pause break. I need to just yield back for a moment, because right now it feels insurmountable. But look back through history of many women that have went through insurmountable things, and you'll see that the greatest women, from the suffrage to the scientists, from the poets to politicians, have faced adversity head on. Don't ever forget that. They faced it with strength, with dignity, and resilience. With strength, dignity, and resilience. And I want to say this: if you look back at the time in the circle of great women, legacies of accomplished things, what did they do? They worked together. They understood the unified front of being better and stronger together. Better, stronger together. A unified front. And the sadness sometimes when I hear women say that I'm alone, or I have to do this alone. No, pray and ask who's meant for you to work on that assignment together. You know, who's meant to help you with that particular assignment. Again, we're better, stronger together. Better, stronger together. Better, stronger together. That unified front, you know. And y'all have heard me say this before, especially people that know me: no competition, no comparison. Stop all that. Stop all of that. And for those that even share and encourage people to do that, to, oh, you got to get yours, you got to get yours for someone else get it. No, because what's for you is for you. You know, get rid of all of that. Keep a unified front. I mean, a true sisterhood, you know, of belonging and encouragement, right? Empowering one another, enriching each other's lives, you know, engaging with each other. That's wow. You know, if we can just continuously be on that course and don't stop, continuously stay on that course, right? And I think it's so important that, you know, when you think about it, they didn't ever give up on their purpose. And if they did, we wouldn't be where we're at today. But they didn't give up on their purpose. And we know it was hard. And we see even now it could be hard. Our challenges are different. Our setbacks are different. Our failures are different. But we can get through it. We can get through it. And we work towards getting through it. You know, they didn't lose their passion. Again, they didn't give up on the purpose. They didn't lose their passion. And they never stopped pursuing their destiny. And there's some women may have never, they did not ever see the full manifestation of what their purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny was meant to fulfill. So they may have died before it. But if it was not for their fire, their purpose that they had in mind, because there was that seed to get it started, that passion that ignited inside, because they were the seed to get it started, and they fulfilled their purpose towards their destiny, because that was what they were meant to do. And I celebrate the legacy of those women that came before us, right? Because of here we stand today to be able to do the things that we want to do. I think about those women that have coached me in my life, in different areas of my life, you know, having a health coach, having a spiritual coach, having a professional coach, having a personal enrichment coach, you know, those women that have really helped me ignite and continue to be motivated to pursue more, you know. And I'm excited. I get excited about that, because hopefully I, you know, will look back and say, you know what, I impacted one person, and that one person impacted someone else, and that one person impacted someone else, and then that another one person impacted maybe tens, you know, and then someone else impacted hundreds, and then someone else impacted thousands, and someone else impacted, you know, hundreds, thousands, then millions. You know, that's what it's all about. And so don't give up. Don't give up on the purpose. Don't give up on being a woman of purpose, of passion, and pursuit of destiny. You know, You are a part of that legacy. I'm a part of that legacy. My grand loves are a part of that legacy. You know, we are a part of the lineage of fierce, courageous women who refuse to be silent. Your voice matters. Your voice may not be like someone else's voice, and it's not supposed to be, right? What you have to say is not going to sound like what someone else has to say or the way they need to say it. And that's okay. That's okay. I remember one time I was at church. This was so wild when this happened to me. I couldn't believe it. And someone said to me, I'm going to pray that, yeah, this is what they said. I'm going to pray that quiet spirit out of you, you know, because, you know, I'm not really, I'm not really, you know, like a woohoo, woohoo. You know, I can say woohoo, 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 but I guess I wasn't saying it like them or over zealous like them. You know, I'm not that. That's just not me, and that's okay. But I do have my moments, and when it's time, I know when it's time, and so I'm not going to react the way you want me to react. But I remember, you know, the one woman in church, she came up to me and said, I'm going to pray that out of you, that you get away from that being quiet or being shy. And I'm like, well, I'm not really shy. You know, everyone's, you know, has a different personality. Yeah, you know, there's occasions where, you know, I could be considered very quiet, but I'm just reserved, you know, and that should be okay, because we're all different. We're all made differently. And I looked, and I didn't respond. I just looked like, okay, who does that? And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, you know what? That's so sad, because we're looking at someone else and we're thinking that, oh, just because they don't act like me or act like you, that something's wrong with them. No, we are uniquely made, you know, created, and it's okay to be the way that you are. And for me, like I said, I've had some great coaches in my life, and I see they're different. They're different than I am. They're different from one another. And again, they're coaches in different parts and different, you know, arenas of my life. And not one has told me, hey, don't be who you are. You know, no, if anything, be uniquely of who you are, you know, imperfectly perfect of who you are, you know. And, you know, so it's like, I just laughed and I just said, that's so sad. So hopefully, you know, even in the church, we'll get to the place where we stop thinking that people need to be clones, right? Looking like each other, acting like each other, being like each other. No, people can be different, and let people be them. Because again, what needs to be spoken to them will be spoken to them within their spirit, and how they need to be, and how they need to celebrate what they will celebrate. I tell people, all the time, if someone asked me and they said, I was like, oh my goodness, yes. And they said, wow, wasn't the word impactful today? Or if I went and I heard a speech, or we went to a women's empowerment conference, wasn't it awesome today? And I was like, yes. I said, I was jumping out of my seat. I was running around that place. I was running around the church. I was running around the place. And they're looking at me like, Amystique, I didn't see you do any of that. Yes, I was. I was doing it all inside. That's me. Like, I literally was. I was jumping up and down. I was running all over that place. Just because you didn't see me doesn't mean I wasn't doing it, because yes, I was doing it. I was doing it inside. Yeah, but I was leaping. I was jumping. Yeah, you just didn't see it because you were doing it like outside. You know, you were actually physically doing it, but I was doing it too inside though. But my response was just like yours. It's just that your response is outwardly, my response is inwardly. But I was still like jumping, shouting, having a great time, running around. Oh my goodness. Yes, again, understand that we are all uniquely made, and that is so fine. But we are women of purpose, passion, and pursuit of our destiny. And so we want to be able to do that. Refuse to be held back, my sisters. Refuse to be held back. So if you know you have that passion inside of you to pursue something, do it. Refuse to be held back. Don't look for no's. That's why to be very transparent, probably about 90% of the time, I don't tell people what I'm doing. I don't tell people what I have a dream about, you know, what are some of the things I want to accomplish, because I don't need for someone to tell me, oh, you know what, you can't do that. Do you think you can do that? Do you have the time to do that? Are you sure? You know, no, allow me to walk through that process, because I'm a process person. So I'm kind of planning it out anyway. Right. But first of all, for me, it's like, okay, for me, I'm going to pray. you know, God, how do you want this to be done? But I don't allow that, you know, to stop me. I remember when I decided to go back to school, and, you know, I had a husband, children, and everything. And I said I wanted to go as far as I can. You know, this is what I want to accomplish. And someone, you know, said to me, oh, wow, at your age, you know, most people accomplish that when they're in their 20s or 30s, you know, but it's never too late. I was talking to someone, and she just became a doctor, and she's an OBGYN. And if she would have allowed someone else to discourage her, she wouldn't be fulfilling that passion and purpose now. So you don't allow anyone to stop you. You know, it may seem late in life to someone else, but it's not. There's a TV show my husband likes, and it's called Rookie. And the guy is a rookie, that, you know, because he just started on the police force, and he's like in his 40s. And everyone else, of course, is younger. There's that's been more seasoned in there. And then there's some people that's his age, because they've been cops, for 20, 30 years. And, you know, they're getting towards the retirement, and he's just now starting out for whatever reason. And I didn't watch the beginning of the show, but periodically I'll go and sit down with him and watch the show and tell him to tell me, okay, what's going on? You know, what's the rookie doing now? And but that's an exciting thing, is like, even at that age, in the pursuit of his life, you would think that, okay, at 40 some, you now want to become a cop, you know. And but yeah, so whatever needs to happen, or whatever has happened, a transition in your life, and you still have that passion inside, I say go for it. Unless something in particular has an age requirement, which not many do, maybe the military, but not many, you know, not many. I think even in the military, you can join up until you're 40. You just got to be in good physical health, and be able to endurance, you know, physical fitness. But many positions and jobs, they don't have age requirements like that. So, or even if there's some projects that you want to accomplish, some, you know, community investments, political aspirations, you know, go for those. It's never too late. Do not stop. If you have that passion to do it, then do it. I say do it. So if you think about that, refuse to let anything stop you from living your fullest life, your fullest lives, your fullest life. So again, there are many women who refuse to be silent, who refuse to be held back, who refuse to let anything stop them from living their fullest lives. Tell yourself, I'm not going to allow anything or anyone to stop me from living a full life. A full life. Whatever that full life looks to you, right? Don't let them. So today, you know, I urge you to ask yourself, what is my purpose? What lights me on fire? I told someone the other day, I said, do what makes your soul, what lights your soul on fire, what makes you happy, you know. And then happy is for a moment. So y'all know I talk about that, right? So the ones that know me know I believe in, okay, you know, you're not happy every day, but you can find things in your life to be joyful about, because your joy comes from inside, right? Even in the midst of challenges and setbacks, there's something within that peace. Like, you got to have peace. So, but what excites your soul on fire? What, again, that's that passion, that inner man. What makes you excited? That's what you can do. So what lights me on fire? Ask myself, what lights me on fire? Amystique, what lights me on fire? What do you want to accomplish? What is my destiny? You know, and for me, that's through prayer and meditation, kind of understanding. And I'm thankful because I know what I'm called to do. I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm called to do. I know some things that I need to accomplish. And I'm working on those. I'm working on the process of getting those things done. And I'm excited I'm excited when I think about it. I'm excited. And it's like, oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, God, for placing that in me. Thank you, God, for working things out in me to be able to do that. Thank you, God, for not allowing me to get in the way, because I've gotten in the way of myself sometimes, you know, to like let that go beyond, but you still got that planet for me. So I'm thankful for that. And what steps will I take to move closer to it? What steps will you take to move closer to it? Because here's the thing, sister. Here's the thing, my sisters. Your journey matters. Your voice matters. Your actions matter. You are powerful. We are powerful. And remember, we are stronger, better together. You are capable. You are unstoppable. I want y'all to, there's these two songs that every now and then that I play. I tell Alexa to play these songs for me. One is called Unstoppable. I don't remember who it's by. I think her name is Shira, or something like that. But it's called Unstoppable. Go on YouTube and find that song. I played that to psych myself up. And when I say psych myself up, it's a motivation for me. And I'll say, Alexa, play Unstoppable. I'll have to look on my phone to find out who it's by, of course, but I'll tell Alexa to play it, and it just resonates through my house, right? And then there's another song called Walking in Your Purpose. And I sent that out to a few people to listen to, but it's called Walking in My Purpose. And I really like that song too. And just to resonate and cite, in a few weeks I have to participate somewhere, and so I'm going away. So I'll be going away to do that. I'm looking forward to it too, because then I'll get some rest and relaxation too after I get to do that. But you know, there's some, I have like I like to have like a litany of songs that I take with me to go ahead and, you know, play those. And another song that I really like, it's called The Truth. And again, I don't know who that's by, but if you go to YouTube and you'll find The Truth. So just find The Truth and then listen to them. But with the truth, the song talks about, you know, not believing the voices of who people say you are, but believing the voice of who he says you are. And for me, who God says I am, right? Who your inner, like that resonates with inside yourself of who you are, the truth of who you are. So when I get a free moment, I'll look up the authors, the artists of those songs, and I'll add them. But let us continue to honor those women who have accomplished so much, you know, the legacy of those, you know, in our history, but then also those that are accomplishing those things today. Yesterday when I went to the event, they honored the women, you know, that were trailblazers, women, you know, in politics, women in the community, women that been strong advocates in education, different things like that. So when you think about those women that are making those impacts, but here's the thing, what about those women that are coming in the future? You know, think about those women. I think about my grand loves, you know, of how they're different and how they're going to impact. Each one will impact. So they will be women, you know, that will impact and do some things. And so I'm excited for that. And even my grand loves that are males, you know, my grandsons. So just excited for what the things that they're going to accomplish. So again, let us continue to honor those women who came before us, stand together and creating a future where all women can rise, thrive, and fulfill their deepest calling. And that's something that I definitely want to make sure that I'm doing for other women out there. But then also because I have grand loves, right? So I want to make sure I do that. I want to make sure that I fulfill what I'm supposed to fulfill, the purpose. You know, I always say God's kingdom agenda for my life on this earth, his agenda for my life on this earth. And that's what I'm in pursuit of. And so again, we're women of what? Purpose, passion, and pursuit of destiny. And so the world needs you. The world needs me. The world needs you. Yes, the world needs you. The world needs me. And again, for me, it's like whomever, you know, that I am signaled to help with their assignment, or who I am to help them get to the next level, or to impact them or influence them. And again, for me, you know, it's about, you know, engaging, enriching, empowering, you know, encouraging someone else's life, you know. And I think that is so important, and equipping. So for me, I always talk about the 5 E's, I know, right? Engaging, empowering, enriching, encouraging, and equipping. You know, that's, you know, for me. And so am I doing that? And every day I ask myself, who am I to impact today? I have a challenge for myself for this month, for the month of March, and that I want to accomplish to make sure that I'm working in those 5 E's in those areas. And so I asked myself, you know, who am I meant to meet today to be able to do that, you know? And again, even if it's, and for me, my challenge for myself is even if it's just one person, God, I want to be able to do that. And so I think that's so important. So again, the world needs you. The world needs me. And so we are women of purpose, passion, and pursuit of our destiny. And so whatever that destiny looks for you, again, it looks different for everyone. So I want to say, you know, as I think about it, I'm just forever thankful, always grateful, and abundantly blessed. And so my sisters, as we continue to celebrate Women's Month, is that we understand that we are stronger, better together. Stronger, better together. And remember that. All right. Continue to have a wonderful day on purpose, and may your week be fulfilled with abundance of joy, peace. And don't forget to get some rest. Bye. Love you guys. Oh, love you, ladies.